Welcome to our live stream of high school sports. Please note that this broadcast is produced by an independent team of sports enthusiasts, and the views, opinions, and commentary expressed are solely those of the commentators and not representative of the schools, teams, or athletes featured. While we strive for accuracy, occasional errors or misstatements may occur. This stream is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. Ain't no telling how it might get. It's the hypest right here. High school sports at its finest. So many highlights, you have to rewind it. Hey, Stream City, let me just remind ya. The heart of a lion, a team full of fighters. So many stars on the field, it'll blind ya. They're giving everything they got till the time's up. Yeah, legends in the making. History is made. We just getting started. You ain't seen a thing. YSN, gotta know the name. They gon' bring the flames. They gon' do their thing. Take it to another level. Don't hold back. High school, got a passion and we show that. Got the drive and you know they got the heart. Number one spot for your high school sports. Let's go for the win. Hey.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Tuesday edition of YSN Live. I'm DJ Yoakley alongside my co-pilot, Mr. Anthony Ronald Hartwig. Twiggy, what's going on today, buddy?
How we doing? It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood, right?
Wrong again, buddy.
Wrong again.
Wrong again. We got dumped on last night. We're getting dumped on tonight. We got games that are getting canceled left and right. Some of the most marquee games of the entire season, Boardman and Canfield, are X'd out. X amount. It is it's tough skating right now. And this is going to be, we have one interview today. Bree Figley from Crestview going to join us here in a little bit. But Anthony, my plea today, the conversation, does the OHSAA have to look at potentially extending the season to late June for high school sports? Is that feasible? And we want to hear from you out there in the comment section because, man, I was just talking to a dear friend. Most of these seasons are 26, 27 games, right?
Yeah, that's your cap. Like you're allowed to get 27 games.
Some of these teams ain't.
Some don't.
And the
Some
draw for softball was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Draw for baseball is this coming Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these teams don't even have half of that in right now.
Yeah, you look at the records were submitted for those for the voting on Wednesday of last week. So if you go to the seedings and see all these records that were submitted, there's a handful of teams that have like maybe 10 games.
Single digits.
It's kind of a flashback to the I think the spring after COVID when we had teams in the same boat that were going into postseason with like 13 or 14 games in, and we had to finish conference play in between tournament games, and it looks like we might have to do that this year too,
if weather permitting, and that's the big thing. And I get it. Right. We can't just have domes. We can't just have indoor stadiums. It's not feasible. It's not practical. But here's the other thing: it's not practical right now. Do I go into tangent mode here? Do I just pull the lever and go into tangent mode?
Go.
All right,
go for it.
Here we go. We know that nobody cares about spring sports. Like, we are well aware, OHSA. It is completely apparent. Because why? Because spring sports don't bring in any dough. And that does not mean that you get to overlook it. Because as you and I, my dear friend, Mr. Hartwig, have concluded multiple times, specifically in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania, it is still the number one sport when we're talking in girls and boys, baseball and softball and baseball, flip-flop that. The kids in this area, this region, go and play at the next level. baseball, and softball.
Mhm.
Yet we give them the minimum viable product, the MVP, if you're in the business world,
Mhm.
for the time that they're allotted to play the sports in high school.
Mhm.
And most people are going to say, yeah, but they have travel ball. Yeah, but they have. That's great. But if you're a school, if you're a varsity sport, you look at this and you go, this does potentially the most harm to bodies because it is 26, 27 games mashed into, let's be honest,
A month.
about a month.
Yeah.
About a month. So in 26, 27 games mashed into about 26, 27 days, what does that do to the 14 to 18-year-old body?
I mean, we heard Aubrey Evans talk about it yesterday. She's like, I'm tired in high school. We're playing 5 games in 5 days with no break. You know, travel, you get a whole week off and then you're playing a lot in the weekend. So travel is like a sprint and high school is like a marathon. And you
This
put
is
these
the-
kids through marathons. It's just it's hard on the body.
This is the argument right here. This is what Scott Resitar believes in. So many others believe in too. I will
Baseball
tell
would be
you,
tough, 'cause
I do not like this.
Yeah.
I do not like this at all.
Now, we've seen other states across the nation do softball in the fall and move girls soccer to the spring. That's kind of viable, but baseball in the fall, football's king, and you're going to lose a lot of those guys to football.
I will tell you this. Baseball will not survive if you go to the fall.
Mm-hmm.
It won't. You won't have the same amount of participation. You're already going to lose some. I mean, there is one school in our area under the YSN banner that had over 60 boys come out for lacrosse this year. You're telling me that doesn't affect baseball numbers. And hey, good for lacrosse. Good for lacrosse. Terrible for baseball. Because baseball is fighting an uphill battle right excuse me, right now anyway. But you look at what I mean, it's like they're being kicked out the door. It's like they're an uncle that just overstayed his welcome. And it's becoming more and more apparent. Now, there's a lot of things that I would blame on the OHSAA. We can't blame the weather on them.
Mm-mm.
But we can look at the reaction. And the OHSAA has the power to come out and say, hey, we're going to extend this. But they won't.
No.
Because they want to do this and get into football, into the spring or into the fall sports, because that's where they make a great deal of money here with the tournament. And their, as our good buddy Andy Hake says, their birthday parties that they throw. So I don't know, man. There's a lot to get into this. I know that we want to, it's a huge topic. We're going to dive into it a little bit later. So if you're out there, you have comments, Scott, I know you want to get involved in this. Hang on, because we have a great interview coming in right now. Anthony, please, my dear friend, roll out that black and gold carpet for our next interviewee.
Yeah, we're going to the great black and gold, the Crestview. It's about time we get a softball player from the Rebels on the show, and it's a senior backstop. DJ, I know you love catchers. We love catchers. Catchers are special commodity, and this is one of the best in the area. And Brenna Figley coming into her senior year as a Rebel. We are so happy to have her on board. Brenna, thanks for coming on, girl.
Thank you for having me.
You got
It's great to have you here.
It's senior year, right?
Yes.
And it's kind of not only your last season, but it's your comeback season, because you had to unfortunately miss your junior year to an injury, most of it at least. Talk about what it's been like to deal with all the emotions of comeback season and final season as a Rebel.
Honestly, I feel like I wouldn't ask for it to go any other way. I feel like not playing the full season last year and it like ending unexpectedly, I feel like I kind of just like appreciate everything a little bit more now. And I feel like I just really wanted this season a lot more this year than I feel like I have ever, just because it is my first season back and it is my senior season. So yeah, I feel like it's been really exciting.
Brenna, from a mental perspective, how has it been for you? I'm sure there's moments that you've kind of had to, relive, what you've gone through, and then have to overcome some things, some of the adversity that you've potentially come up upon. What has it been like for you? Have you had moments of setback? Have you had moments of you've got to fight through battles that in kind of in your own head?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like the biggest battle has been more mentally than anything. I feel like last year, especially for recruiting, for a lot of things, I feel like your junior season is just so important. And missing that, I feel like I thought I was going to be like really, really set back. I was really nervous about that. So I feel like a lot of it just had to do with lifting and making sure that my body was ready, as well as my mindset too. But I have a really great support system, and our coaching staff, Coach Miller, Coach Finch, Coach Farron, I feel like they all had my back since the very beginning. And they didn't treat me any less of a person or a teammate even after I was injured. So I feel like that was really important, and I was really sad to like not be able to play. But after I got my cast on, I was actually able to, Coach Miller let me pinch run and courtesy run, which was really, really nice. I feel like that honestly really helped more than a lot of people probably understood.
Brenna, when we talk about this year, we were talking before you came on. It's been a rough weather season. We've had to stop and go. There's been about 5 days in a row where we showed up to a field. We think we're going to get a game in, and the rains come. It's got to be tough on the athlete to kind of try to stay engaged. What are some things that you've been doing to try to stay mentally strong during the ups and down of Northeast Ohio weather?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like just staying with it, going to practices and taking like I guess doing everything I can even when we are inside. Like when the weather is bad, we're either practicing on the turf football field or in the gym hitting. So I honestly feel like just like knowing that eventually we're gonna get to play has been a big part of it for me.
Kind of piggybacking off of that question, as a catcher, I
Hmm.
remember when things got rained out, it is the worst case scenario for a catcher because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to throw those shin pads on and go catch bullpens for about an hour. Is
Yep.
it the same kind of mentality for you? I mean, do you know, oh my gosh, here we go. And there's and usually there's no catching coach on staff. So you're just kind of
Right.
entertaining yourself and catching those bullpens. How do you keep your kind of wit sharp and everything sharp while you're doing the monotonous catching bullpens for everybody's favorite, the pitcher?
Yeah, actually, that's kind of funny because I feel like all of our Crestview coaches and teammates know that there's nothing more that I hate than catching bullpen. I absolutely hate it. It's my least favorite thing. But I feel like with that, usually how like our bullpen and live hitting works is Coach Miller will have me call pitches, and we'll do pitch counts too. So like he'll have me call balls and strikes, which kind of like keeps it like entertaining, I guess, a little bit. Um, but yeah, everybody knows on our team that I absolutely hate it. It's dreadful.
So
Having
you have to umpire, you have to be a catcher, and you have to kind of be a coach in that. So the way I
Yes.
count it, that's three different things, three different jobs you should be getting paid for back there,
Right.
catch.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. To say the least, that's for sure.
having the catcher as an umpire, that's advantage defense right there. Every
Yeah.
corner, every corner call you're getting.
Uh huh.
If it's on
Yep.
the
Depends
black,
on
it's
how
a
the
strike.
pitcher pays in food. That's all.
Britta, I
Exactly.
want to talk about the catching legacy at Crestview. The catcher that came before you, of course, Carson Moore, did a lot of great things at Crestview, went to the next level. And I know she's a big impact on what you've been able to do at Crestview as well. Talk about living up to that legacy and trying to, kind of keep the Crestview backstop as strong as it's been in the past.
Yeah, I absolutely love Carson Moore. Carson Moore definitely has had a humongous impact on Crestview softball and me. I feel like in a lot of different ways, like not only as a catcher, but the way that she treated our pitchers, Caden at the time, Ellie Ricketts at the time, Brubaker at the time, just everybody that was in the circle. I feel like she really put them and the team above herself always. With her being such an asset as a catcher, and everybody knew who she was, everybody knew how much potential she had. I feel like coming up and catching after her and being so close to her, I feel like it was a lot of pressure to come up to. But honestly, I think that that's kind of what helped me like push. Like I didn't want them to be like, oh wow, we really miss Carson behind the plate. So I feel like in that aspect, I really used her legacy to kind of push off and kind of start my own.
So I guess the next question has to be, I mean, you look to Carson, her legacy. Now you've left one and are currently leaving one. Who's next? Who gets the baton after you? And who have you really been trying to force into this position so that way they're ready when the time comes?
Well, we have a few. We have a current sophomore. Her name is Taylor. She saw some time behind the plate last year while I was out. We have a freshman that catches. Her name's Elizabeth Dean. And then we have an upcoming, she'll be a freshman once I'm gone. Her name's Gia DePace. I've heard a lot of great things about her. But honestly, I feel like I'm honestly not sure. I feel like that's definitely going to be an open spot that I'm excited to hear everybody competing for. But as far as handing off the baton and like leaving my legacy and someone else starting a new one, I feel like as much as catching as it is like in the dugout and energy and being loud, I really, really hope I have a lot of faith in the underclassmen, the sophomores and the freshmen that they're really gonna pick up our team and run with it.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer.
Thanks.
And now we go full circle because you're going back to being behind Carson Moore at Ave Maria. Talk about that and what it's like to kind of follow in her footsteps yet again at the next level.
Yes, I am really excited. Their freshman year, my sophomore year, and even my junior year last year while they were up there or down there, I guess. I followed them a lot and talked to them all the time, and heard all the great things about Ave Maria. And then this year, actually, again with my whole like thumb breaking and not playing my junior season, I honestly was like kind of feeling um, a little defeated, I guess you could say. And then randomly, it was the most random thing ever. Their head coach, Coach Plesbert, who actually resigned now and is not there anymore, reached out to me and asked me to send her some like clips and videos of me playing like most recently. And I told her that I could send her some bullpen stuff, but that like I didn't play a junior season. So I talked to all of their coaches a lot on the phone, and I set up a visit and I went in November, and I actually roomed with Carson and Caden, and I kind of just followed them around the whole weekend. I played in an inter squad scrimmage with them on Saturday morning when I was there, and I feel like it was just an amazing environment. And I definitely see how like that environment pushed Carson, I guess, to thrive there. So I feel like I just wanted to get in on it. And being excited or being able to play one more season with Carson and Caden after I thought like my freshman season was it is so exciting.
Aubrey Maria is going to have to start paying some advertising bills, or at least trying to. Maybe they pay for a new building at Crestview because I feel like they have honed in on Rebel Country.
Yes, they have.
Congratulations, Brenna. That's amazing to hear. With your so crazy question with your thumb, you're probably in a cast or a splint or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were you just walking around thumbs up and everybody all day? Like, how did that work?
So my cast covered my entire thumb. No thumb. Looked like it was gone. And my cast went up to like about here. So I was in it for a while. It took a lot longer to heal than originally planned. I was in my cast. I only played like 5 games in, so I was in it pretty early and I didn't get out of it until June. So I feel like that definitely my tan line was pretty bad, if you can imagine.
So I guess if you would have been my teammate at the time, I would have walked over every time I made a sweet play and be like, Brenna, how'd you feel about that play? Because your thumb's already up, we're ready to go. So you were the team leader, the team pep talk.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Brenna, one of the things I want to ask you, you talked about how junior year and the recruiting process was put on a hold because of the thumb, and it made you nervous. So when you finally got the sign on that dotted line, what was that moment like to kind of make the reality come true of something that I'm sure you dreamed about forever, that you're going to be a softball player at the next level?
It felt really good. Honestly, I feel like it's like one of those feelings that you don't really get how it feels until you're actually like there doing it. And just everybody that I had with me, the team, the girls, the coaches, my parents, all of them, I feel like it was really something that it was more, not just me, but like a community thing. So it was really, really nice to just know that all the hard work is paid off.
We know you're big into your goals and personal team goals as well. How did the injury change your trajectory, I guess, of those goals and trying to accomplish them? Did you have to go back to the square one? Did you have to go back to the books and say, okay, this is what I want to accomplish now? And what are those things that you want to accomplish before you walk across that stage and hang up your black and gold cleats, so to speak?
I definitely had a lot of personal goals and team goals. I feel like as last year, I kind of like once I broke my thumb and I was out, I was done. I kind of definitely put like my personal goals on hold, obviously, and really just focused on the team and the girls, which I feel like also kind of like helped me. I originally felt like really like I just had no clue what I was gonna do, and then I got to focus on the girls and the team, and they did a really good job at still like making me included and making me feel like part of the team, which was really nice. Um, then I feel like ever since I got my cast off and I got cleared, I was really focused on just getting strong. I felt like that was kind of the biggest thing is I didn't want to play like I was still a junior. I wanted to play like I was a senior. So I feel like getting strong and building back the muscle that I hadn't been able to use for a while was really key to that also. But honestly, I feel like my personal goals is just to do whatever the team needs me to do. Whether it's to hit the crap out of ball and get on base and score, whether it's to help our pitchers and just make sure I'm framing everything as well as I possibly can. So I kind of feel like I love our team with everything in me, so I feel like my personal goals are just to simply help our team goals.
All that matters, and all that matters is she just dropped I don't care if I have to hit the crap out of the ball. Like that's an all-timer. That might be a quote across social media, right with Brenna's picture.
Brenna, when you get an NIL deal, your shirts have to say "hit the crap out of the ball." All right.
Yes, that is
Is that a
something
you quote or is that a Coach Miller quote?
Coach Miller, I feel like there have been a lot of instances where like I'm the leadoff hitter before the game starts when we're away, or after we get done playing on the field, he like comes up to me and like acts like he's gonna like give me this like really serious like pep talk, and then he like puts his card like up to his face and then he just tells me to hit the crap out of the ball. And I'm just like, you know what? Yeah.
Now, here's the big question that I think a lot of viewers are probably wondering. Is that edited for TV or does he actually use crap?
No, he uses crap, I would say.
Okay.
I would
Okay.
say. I mean, of
Okay.
course
Look at
it
Anthony
depends
doing
on.
the journalism. He's fishing for answers. These are the big hitting questions from Anthony Hartwig.
So, back to we haven't talked about your leadership yet. Just like the being a senior leader and having the team just lean on you so much in that aspect. What's that been like for you trying to, not just be the best player you can be, but also put these players, especially the ones that'll be back next year, in the best position to succeed for the future?
Yeah, I feel like honestly, I love that just as more as anything else. I feel like the freshmen this year and the underclassmen, um, especially like the sophomores this year, like yes, I got to lead them last year, but I feel like it was just a little bit different, like since I wasn't on the field. Um, but honestly, I love just talking to the girls and being there for the girls. The freshmen, they perform really, really well, but I feel like every once in a while, whether it's in the dugout before they hit or um, on the field, I feel like sometimes they just need somebody to tell them that it's okay and to just calm down a little bit. And I love that I get to be the one to do that.
We always talk about role models and heroes and kind of how they've sculpted student athletes to be who they are today. Who are those people for you? Who are the people that have made you this great young lady that hits the crap out of the ball?
Um, I feel like my biggest role model definitely has to be my mom. My mom has had the biggest impact on me, whether it's been softball, school, just life in general. I feel like she's always been the one that just needs to be like, Brenna, you need to calm down. You're doing fine. Like, she's always been that for me. As far as softball has gone, um, Coach Miller definitely has had a really big impact for me with that. I feel like being a team captain sometimes, like, and the leadoff hitter and the catcher, sometimes I feel like I've gotten into kind of pressured situations, and he always just tells me that he trusts me and that I just have to trust myself. So I feel like that definitely had a lot to do with it. As far as leading our team and being like a leader, I definitely would have to say Carson Moore, Caden Sutton, Kenneth Schultz. I feel like they were the best captains as a freshman that I could have asked for. Um, I feel like a lot of the things that I say to the freshmen or the underclassmen, um, they have said to me, and I feel like that's been a big part of it too.
Brenna, you brought up your mom. Mother's Day is coming up very, very soon. What do you think's on your mom's wish list for Mother's Day?
Probably clean house, honestly. She maybe to do some laundry. I don't know. She's pretty great, but she definitely maybe dishes. I don't know.
Which one do you get to do?
I hate doing the dishes. I
Hate.
the dishes if they're like if there's old food or anything, absolutely not. 1000% not.
It's so gross. Like I'm 40 years old and I still hate like putting them in there and then like your hand hits another dish that had
Exactly.
food on it. Like,
Exactly.
oh
Like I
man.
have rubber gloves that come to my elbows, and that's the only way I'm touching them ever. Absolutely disgusting.
Are you a dishes in the sink girl or do you put it directly into the dishwasher?
Um, what I hate about dishes is we have a dishwasher, but everybody will like rinse off their dishes, but then just leave them in the sink instead of putting them in the dishwasher.
Come
Yeah,
on.
exactly,
Heathens.
exactly.
Heathens.
Yeah,
Heathens.
yeah.
That brings
Sacks of subs.
when you look at the life skills you're going to be nervous about having to do yourself when you're out of the nest in Ave Maria. What are some things that you think you've taken for granted a little bit that your mom and dad do for you at home?
Um, I'm trying to think. Definitely. Hmm, I don't know. Washing my bed sheets. I
Mm.
feel like I am really good with doing my own laundry most of the time. And I help out with dishes, but usually like they do the dishes or my sister will. But I feel like my bed sheets and my pillowcases and my comforter, I feel like my mom is like, I feel like she does that the most. So I feel like probably that.
Febreze. That's all you need. Just need a can of Febreze. Just Febreze it. You'll learn in college. You'll learn in college. Febreze fixes everything. Brandon, we cannot thank you enough. We're huge fans, obviously, of what you do on and off the diamond. We wish you all the best wherever you go. The end of this year, moving down south, which will be nice. You won't have to worry about that weird suntan anymore. So you make up for it. But keep doing great things. Keep representing Crestview in this entire region because you do it so well. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brenna Figley. Thank you so much. Bed sheets. Didn't see that one coming.
That's like, I think I've asked that question before, and I think that's the first time I've heard bed sheets. Usually it's laundry or maybe like the food because they're like, I don't know how to cook anything. Bed sheets is a new one. And it's actually one that, now thinking about it, it's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Sarah washes the bed sheet. Like, she's like, this is enough. I still have a little bit of that bachelor in me. It's like, no. Like,
Let's Febreze it.
We're good. Good. We're fine. Like, now listen, I had a roommate. He didn't like Febreze. He had the old Axe spray, and those Axe bombs went off, and it was rough.
Oh man.
So I'll give you a quick story. Probably nothing like you had. So I went to Ohio Northern my first year. A lot of people don't recognize that because I talk about Westminster all the time. So my freshman year, right out of high school, I was Ohio Northern, Ada, Ohio. That's where they actually make Wilson footballs. That's the home of Wilson. So, like, they have these freshmen, like, hey, come here and you get a bag of this and that and the other thing. Now, when I went to college, Axe was like the newest thing. Like, every dude was axed up.
Their marketing
was
team is smart, man. Those commercials got people wanting Axe.
Well, it's like Mountain Dew. It was like Mountain Dew for like stench. Right. This was before Old Spice became what it is today, which is like Old Spice was one smell and one smell alone, pal.
Right.
And Axe was everything else. So the freshmen, we get these little bottles of Axe, and they load it up. Like, guys would get 6, 7, 8, 10 a box of Axe body spray to last them throughout the year. Well, like Surge. Yes. I hate that it came from Jen Coons, but yes, Surge. And no, we didn't coordinate our white jerseys today.
Mountain Dew on steroids. That was
Surge is probably the reason that I have type 2 diabetes today.
That was taken off the shelves for health reasons.
Multiple reasons. Surge was like, you're out. So to finish my story on Axe, which was like, yes, the Surge of the body spray world, they would, guys late at night would take the Axe spray, duct tape it on top, and then hit the button, and then toss it in like a grenade into the hallway or into somebody's room. And it would just, you couldn't stop it. It would just sit there and spin the entire time because the aerosol would be going off, and your room would smell like stink like Axe body spray. Now there's somebody out there right now that the wheels are turning in their head as they're like, oh my gosh, they still sell those. I'll get those. That's what I'm going to do. Au contraire, mon frère. Don't do it, because it's like it's an escalating situation. If you do it to somebody, they'll come back with like 6 different ones and do it to you. Or even worse, we had he was a wrestler. His name was Brad.
Oh, no.
That's all I'm going to tell you.
Brad.
We got Brad really good with Axe. He got one of our dear friends very good because he went into the pond, got a fish. Great. No. He's a redneck wrestler. Killed the fish, RIP fish, and put the fish in the ceiling tile of the room. And this is a slow play, a long play, but a great play.
that's a long game. Woo.
So every day, other day, hour, whatever it may be, this guy would check the ceiling tile. He's like, there's something smells in my room. So Brad would come in when this guy went to class, and he would take the fish and put it in a different ceiling tile. Until like 3 weeks later, he'd put the fish right where the vent was.
Oh,
Like unscrew the vent, put it where the heat would come out, air would come out, anything that was going on would it just stunk.
I can taste it.
Blech. I mean, it was to the point where it stunk up the entire first floor.
Yeah,
The entire first floor. It was awful.
Yeah.
We all knew it. We finally had to be like, all right, you got to get it out. You got to get it. Because it was like, there's no amount of Axe in the world that covered up the scent of dead, smelly fish.
Febreze
but-
ain't fixing that.
Hey, to all those jokers out there and all those that don't think they're going to get it, you better start plotting now, because that's all college dorm life is. The first year is just playing jokes on everybody. That's all it is. So to all you Axe lovers, all you fish lovers, you'll never see it the same after you leave college. So congratulations. Great job by Brenna Figley, by the way. I don't know how we I don't know how we kind of tiptoe out of the tulips there, back onto the road. But hey, she did a great job. Great job.
Hit the crap out of the ball. Love it.
Here we go. More. Jen Coons was a surge drinker? That's incredible.
Ooh, breaking news.
Can we put that on the bottom? I might put that. This was. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. I don't know, Ant. You never got to go in a dorm, did you?
No,
You
I was
roomed there.
never a dorm. I commuted to YSU.
YSU's not a commuter or not a dorm campus per
No,
se.
well, I think they're starting to build dorms. They definitely have them, but they're a lot more apartments than dorms. And I don't think you're not gonna stink up an apartment that you're paying a lot more for than your little dorm room.
Dude, nowadays apartments sometimes cheaper than dorm rooms.
That's true.
That's crazy. That's nuts. I know there's some schools like Westminster. You couldn't be a freshman and go live. I think they've changed it since. But like when I went in, you couldn't live off campus first. You had to have at least 1 year in a dorm. And then for me, I'm like, dude, this is awesome, because I wasn't paying rent directly. It was all going into a student loan, to which kids, don't let them get you like that. Like, go pay rent now. You're going to be fine. A lot of times you can negotiate the rent on a payment in a dorm or in an apartment. The dorms, non-negotiable. Like, landlord ain't so great, I'll tell you that. And Uncle Sam's coming to get you after those grace periods are over. Nobody knows that better than I do. Well, my wife knows it pretty well too, because she was married to me, and she's like, "You're an idiot. Why did you do
You're
this?
an idiot.
You might have a degree, but you're still an idiot to me." Let's get back to our topic that we started before Brenna was on, of extending the spring sports period. Do you think, just straight up, Ant, do you think that it's a good idea? What cons do you see? Poke some holes in this blanket and tell me why it doesn't keep us warm at night.
Well, I think one of the things, especially if because right now softball ends June. I think the state championships are like the second weekend of June, and baseball would be the weekend after that. So they're going into middle June right now. If you go further into that, the OHSA would be button heads with a lot of travel organizations, right? And travel is where you get recruited. So there'd be a lot of kids that might be like, "Hey, you know what? We're playing in the last week of June, but I have a showcase in Columbus, or I have a showcase in Georgia. Good luck in the state championship. I got to go get recruited."
So I guess one of my questions is that really and I know there's going to be a lot of people that say, yes, it is. Is that really the be all and end all? Is that summer ball is for recruitment? Do we know this 100% certainty? Or are we just selling what we're hearing?
I think especially when you're talking about the elites, like the girls that are going to the Georgia showcases or going off to Colorado for the Sparkler tournament. Yeah, that's the end all be all. Those D1 Power 5 coaches aren't coming to a state championship and watching, especially because they're playing too. Right, that's right when they're playing in the NCAA tournament, so they don't have time to be like, hey, we're gonna bus off to this state championship in Kentucky or in Ohio. When you talk about the smaller schools, are mostly done by the time the state championships are there for softball and baseball. Maybe like if you're a D2, D3, I think it's a little bit less important that you're there for travel for summer. But if you're an elite softball player or a baseball player that wants to go, up to that D1 Power 5 level, especially, yeah, you would need to be in that summer ball. And that's one of the reasons why we see a couple of elite softball players this year miss basketball season so they could go to winter camps in their junior season and try to get themselves in front of some coaches in the winter.
I think it may be. I mean, you talk about the seasons, and I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong, and I don't think the people that have told us this are wrong. I just think that it's a hot ticket and a hot sell. Like it's the biggest message that they convey is, hey, come play ball in the summer and travel ball and this because this is where you get recruited. I don't think it's as real. And in conversations that I've talked to coaches at the next level, it's not as prevalent as these summer ball coaches will have.
That's the ticket, because there are snakes in the grass that are summer ball coaches that will be like, hey, come, we'll get you recruited. But like, because they'll call their team like, oh, where are the gold, emerald, elite diamond team? And it's like, no, you're not getting. You look at the players that are playing for them, and you look at the players that have played for them. They're not getting people recruited, but they say they are, and they get people to come pay, gobs of money because they're on the elite diamond team, and they think they're going to get recruited off that team. You got to know who you're getting in. For lack of a better term, you got to know who you're getting in bed with if you're going to play travel ball. And there are a lot of travel ball coaches that will take advantage of that narrative.
I really wish Palestine had a debate team when I was growing up, because I would have loved being on it. My argument would be, then that's another reason, just another reason that the high school league season should be longer. Mm-hmm. Because then you have the ability to have coaches at the next level, softball, baseball, their seasons are over. They're done. Yeah. Most of these college seasons are wrapping up because, listen, they're either going to get drafted or the potential there to get drafted to go get a job in the real world. Mm-hmm. These seniors are leaving Division III, Division II. They're not getting drafted. Division I, they're not getting drafted. Not all of them. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Like, you got to go do something. You got to go make money now because the clock's ticking. The second that you graduate, it's called a grace period. I believe it's still 6 months, if I'm not mistaken, before you have to start paying back student loans, things of that nature. Clock's ticking. And if you're sitting there playing, finishing up your spring season and, I'm going to go play summer ball too, just to see if I can get drafted or I can sign on somewhere. Like, they don't care. They don't care. They're gonna hit you up in 6 months. So in November, December, when you're trying to pay for Thanksgiving, a lot to be thankful for. Student loans isn't one of them. And then Christmas, you're trying to pay for an engagement ring or whatever to start your life. They don't care. They'll garnish your wages, whatever it may be. I think this gives another opportunity, if we extend it a little bit for high school at least. Okay, you're going to go till July 10th is going to be the state championship. Mm-hmm. Our coach is going to get sick of it? Probably. Our parents going to get sick of it? Probably. But if there's an ability to be seen in your high school, why wouldn't we do it? Why wouldn't we take advantage of it? Oh, by the way, Jen Coons is now on the ticker.
One of the things that you also, I mean, especially for baseball, if you go into the middle of summer, football coaches are going to be like, hey, when do we start getting ready for a football season that starts now, even earlier in the middle of August? We have to go through our summer camps and our training and our programs to get these kids ready for a full contact sport in a month, and you're still playing baseball.
I don't agree with that. And call me crazy, but football to me has turned into a year-round sport.
Mm-hmm.
It has. There are off-season workouts that are voluntary in most situations, or they have to be voluntary because you can't make someone come and do. But like we've heard it before, where coaches work together for these off-season workouts. You know, the football coach and the baseball coach, football coach and the basketball coach, football coach and whatever it may be. But it's always the football coach or a member of the football staff doing these exercises, because football is still and will probably always will be the one that raises the most money for a school. It's really interesting to me that if that case scenario that you just laid out, Ant, or okay, we need our guys, we can't have them playing baseball, we got to get them ready. It's July. You've got a month before the season, a month and a half before the season starts. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, it's no different than what baseball has to deal with. Right. Even better situation in basketball has to deal with, like it evens the playing field a little bit for things. And I just think, and I will go to my grave saying that spring sports always gets the I can't say what I want to say. It always gets the short straw, right? It stinks. It's bad because, like, again, there's so much opportunity already for our kids to go to the next level, and they do. Why are we limiting that? Why don't we extend that? We see, hey, it's the old Gary V term. Get out of your weaknesses and go all in on your strengths. Mm-hmm. We should be all in on baseball and softball because we are very good at baseball and softball. So why wouldn't we extend that and try to capture as many people, that are as possible to play at the next level, to represent our region, our schools, our communities? I don't get it.
And then we talked about it at the beginning of the season. They waste a lot of time during basketball that they don't have to waste it. They could be given time to the spring sports. There was a week between the state semifinals and the state championship. You don't need a week for that. You can play semifinals on Thursday and Friday, championships on Saturday and Sunday.
It's give and take because we're not playing baseball and softball in the middle of March.
Remember that week before the season started, we had a beautiful week that we kind of wasted.
But most of the time we're 6 inches of snow. This
year was one of those ones where it's like, man, we wasted a really good week where we could have gotten games in. And we're just sitting waiting for a state championship.
But I think this year was a unicorn. Extend it a week and a half, 2 weeks the other way. Mm-hmm. I mean, remember last week, South Range was supposed to have 7 games in 6 days.
Yeah.
And how many they actually get in? 2?
2. So
those 4 games or those 5 games have to go somewhere else.
Yep.
Or you're not playing it. So there are probably coaches out there, and I would probably be amongst them, that if I had a really good team, I'm actually excited for what's happening right now. Right. I want to play the other side too, because there are coaches that are like, hey, want to play, but saving my arms for a potential state championship run here.
I mean, look, Fitch softball last year played, I think, a total of, Steve Ward, if I'm wrong, I apologize, but I think 21 regular season games, 20 maybe. He was not in any hurry to play 27. And some coaches take that and say, hey, we'll play what we have to, but let's not overgas our team before the tournament even starts to make sure we get 27 games in.
All right, here's Scott Resitar chiming in, saying average salary MLB player is $5 million a year, but it gets put. I'm trying to help me out with this, Scotty. Average salary of MLB player is $5 million a year, but gets put to the side burner in high school. NFL is 3 point. Okay, so what I think he's trying to get to is there's more potential for payment if you get to the MLB. But I mean, the MLB is, you ever see that like line of success? Like the meme going around, like everybody thinks that the success thing is here. The road to success is this.
Oh yeah,
and then it's really like that. That is the MLB. Like if you want to go to play professional baseball, you are going to go all over God's green earth and potentially overseas to play it, to get to that next level. NFL is a straight line. That is a straight line.
College right to NFL. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 million.
You can count. Yeah, you can. That's a lot more than $200. You would have to really seek out people that didn't make that straight line, high school, college, NFL, especially in today's day and age with the NIL, which that's a completely different topic.
Kurt Warner's one I can think about. He was like 1 in a million. Like it doesn't happen. But baseball's the opposite. Like find a guy that goes drafted maybe like a year in AAA and then right to the MLB. That almost never happens.
Skeens? I mean, he had to do his run through minor league baseball, but like he was the closest thing. Griffey, that's about it. Bryce Harper, I want to say, was close, but I mean, you got to be something. You got to be something. But we look at this and I feel bad for these kids that, you know, it's their last run and some ADs are going to go, we don't want to play. We're not rescheduling this. I've already scheduled this one game 6 times. Screw this. We're done. I get it. My heart goes out to you. We understand. This is not a tell of who we think you are as an administrator, athletic director. We don't want your job. Trust me, because it's terrible. We do it ourselves. We don't want to do it. But I will say this. To shortchange these kids in the spring is why there's the phones ringing a lot in that office, because some of these kids, either they don't play, they're not on a summer ball team because they are getting prepared for football, right? They are getting prepared for other sports, for their community, for their school. And this might be the only ticket that they have to going to the next level. I mean, how many softball players, and there are a lot of them, play volleyball?
Yeah.
And you're hopping right, or basketball, and they're hopping into basketball camps and, you know, the tours that there is a lot. I would not want to be a high schooler in this day and age. I'm just going to put it out there. I wouldn't want to be there. We talk tough and we say we had it tough. We did, but man, we had time. That's the one thing we did. We had time to do the stuff that we wanted to. I don't think these kids have time anymore.
We had different struggles than they do. I mean, high school is always going to be hard, but I think the struggles change as time goes on. And I think now you're looking at it and they're being pulled in so many directions. And
we had dial-up internet.
Some kids thrive and some kids don't. Some kids have their head on a swivel. Like, where do I go now? And you see a lot of burnout. That's just, I mean, it goes under the radar. We don't, those kids don't get talked about a lot, but we see a lot of burnout. They get to the senior year, they were supposed to be highly recruited, but by the time they're a senior, they're like, you know what, this time with the sport, I don't want to play anymore.
And it's multiple fold here, because there's kids that play one sport and it's spring sports, and they get cheated because we have to get ready. Listen, when school's out. Like we learned when we started this company that nobody is going to school unless there is a literal rope dragging them in the summer. Like it is not happening. Those things are empty. teachers are gone. Administrators are so hard to get a hold of because, like, listen, the 9 months that you jam in a year into, they deserve those 3 months, man. You and I both know. Everybody that's a parent knows. School is a blessing. We went through COVID. We get it because nobody wants to deal with their kids 12 months out of the year for 24 hours of the day. Let's just put it out there. Let's be real.
Right.
The majority of these teachers, like, they get sainthood and they have a golden stairway to heaven, to those pearly gates. Whereas, like, I get it. The school year's done. They're gone. They want to be done. They want everything to be boxed up and shipped out and be done with it, and close the book on it. But at the same time, there's opportunities that are lost because we're just trying to close the book on stuff. You got one sport athletes because we say, hey, we want them to specialize, or maybe they don't want to play football, or maybe, like, we were at the Curbstone Coaches the other night. Greg Pruitt, who was a legend for the Cleveland Browns, said, I don't know if I want my kids playing football. He played professional football, and he's saying, I don't want my kids playing football for whatever reason. And you sit there and you go, man, like, are we shortchanging these kids? And the kids that do play multiple sports, that we beg to play multiple sports, are we shortchanging them in their favorite season? Maybe it's baseball, just so we can rush them to football. We can rush them to basketball. Mm-hmm. We got to go on these tours of these colleges. Like, if you're at a football camp, they're not asking you if you're playing baseball. Just my experience. These college football coaches don't care if you play baseball, if you're trying to get recruited for baseball. If you're 6'5", 6'7", 300 pounds, 250 pounds, whatever it may be, they're saying, can you block for our quarterback? How quick are you? Can you get to the quarterback the way that you get to the ham at Easter dinner? Like, that's what they're talking about. It's to me, as a baseball guy, and full disclosure, I'm a baseball guy and a softball guy. It is a travesty that we're not giving these kids the opportunity and the time they need and deserve, such as other sports, to have their moment. It stinks, dude. I hate it. I know the weather's a part of it, Ant. I get it. Goodness gracious. Can we give them an extra week and a half? That's all I'm asking. Because that takes us to what, the 20th?
Yeah. 20th.
Big deal. What a Father's Day that would be. What a Father's Day that would be. See your kid out there playing ball. Jiminy Christmas. There's more dads that would cry that day than at weddings. Unreal. I don't know. And I feel bad because, like, I know it's all over the place because we're unscripted. But, dude, to have 9 games in, and it's May 5th, 6th. Cinco de Mayo, shout out twice. I mean, do you feel like these kids are getting cheated? These coaches are getting. I mean, we haven't even talked about the coaches that prep. Goodness.
Look, I've been to 4 straight games where we show up expecting to play and then have to get pulled off the field because of either lightning or rain. I can see the frustration. Like, it's there. These players are sick of it. These coaches are definitely sick of it. There were coaches that were like, hey, I didn't see that strike of lightning out there. Let's just play. It's not raining. Which is not, like, right necessarily, but that just tells you how bad they want to get games in.
That's another bowl of crap, by the way.
I mean, we were this is no, I get why lightning is dangerous. I'm not trying to, forego Mother Nature. We were at Boardman last night. It did not rain until about 6:30. Probably could have got a game in because it was dry, but the problem was there was lightning all around the area. So we had to be out the field. Couldn't play. We got 2 innings in because we couldn't start until 6, and then the lightning came again at 6:30, and then the rain started to come at 6:45. You're hosed. But dryness, we were fine. We did not get rained on, and you probably could have played a game, but because the lightning was there, there's nothing you can do, which kind of sucks.
Oh, I didn't see this. Switch volleyball with softball. Nobody wants to be in a gym in August and September.
especially some of these older gyms that don't have AC. But in the sports, in the states that have softball as a fall sport, they flip it with soccer. So soccer will be outdoors in spring. That's how they do it. That's how they do it in Georgia. That's how they do it in Colorado. I think those are the two states that I know of that do softball.
Those are states we don't want to follow.
Maybe one more state out there, maybe like Illinois or something. But most states are spring and fall. But when they do flip it, it's softball in the fall, girls soccer in the spring.
I mean, I've heard people make the case for baseball in the fall, and I don't get it. I don't understand it.
It won't work.
I mean, you're freezing in the fall. Freezing.
Yeah, it would be flipped. You would hit weather that is unconducive to playing at the tail end of the season instead of the beginning of the season.
And then if you have football in the spring, you're getting your cold weather first, followed by your like. Can you imagine 85 degrees in the state championship?
Football, like it just doesn't sound right playing football in the spring at all. Like that just.
Well,
what?
Here's the thing. Well, yeah. So these offshoot games, these all-star football games that they have in the summer, like it just feels weird. It is weird, and we've done our fair share of them, and I sit there and I'm like, and people want this. People want to play. They want to sit in the muggy conditions. I can't do it. I can't. My brain doesn't wrap. Fall is for football. Spring is for baseball. That's just, call me old school, call me old, call me whatever you want. But like, I don't want to be playing football on April 1st and watching baseball on TV and talking about opening day and not have any baseball to think about. Like that my mind is not wired that way.
Tim Porter again saying that, if you put soccer in the spring, of course that would use the same fields that lacrosse would use. You'd have to really navigate that. I am not someone that is, dove deep into how those states do it, how they manage to do lacrosse and soccer at the same time. I just know that's how they do it. So
the states that you mentioned aren't necessarily lacrosse states.
Right. But,
you know what I mean? So
right.
They are soccer states, but it's interesting to me because lacrosse is the fastest growing sport probably ever. And especially in this country, which we love. And we know that Orange is very good and have adopted it very early. And, Orange actually is like, you look at what happens at Orange and then there's like 6 dominoes that fall and then it happens here. So for those people that sit there and they go, okay, well, why is Orange Party like Tim and YSN and myself? We have a great relationship. And I looked at Tim and I go, okay, what's going to happen in 6 months to a year here? Because it's like watching Back to the Future. It really is. It's like getting in a DeLorean, going into the future, and then coming back and going, hey guys, I know what's going to be good. I know what's going to work. That's why it was funny. Like it was reversed because YSN was here first, but they weren't doing anything in Cleveland or in Pepper Pike for that matter. And it was it was weird. It was like that weird part of the time space-time continuum where Youngstown got something first. But I mean, if Tim Porter is telling us this is what happens or this is what it's happening, like he is the future and the present, weird enough. And the
great
past.
Scott, Tim.
He is everywhere. He's like Biff Tannen, that Tim Porter. Wild Biff Tannen. Start calling Wild Tim Porter. To put a bow on this, do you think it'll ever change?
No.
Gut feel? Neither do I.
I don't. I want it to, but it won't.
Yeah, I just feel like these kids are getting the short end of the stick. These coaches are getting the short end of the stick, and a week and a half wouldn't hurt at all. It wouldn't hurt at all. Because especially in times like this, or have that week and a half of rain updates, you know what I mean? Like
right.
have the first, because everybody gets in, so it's not like it's a big deal. But like you have These are specifically rainout dates. So then ADs can go, okay, this game goes here. This game goes here. This game gets canceled. We're not going to play this game because it's non-conference and, you don't have enough arms, whatever. But, like, there should be a built-in rainout 2 weeks or a week and a half of rainout dates that you can potentially do. And if you want to do scrimmages or makeups or whatever, you can do that. Or if you want rest, you can have that. But look at the schedule, Ant. There's nothing there for that. Nothing.
No, there's not.
27 games, 27 days. Go.
And
And don't step out of line because we'll suspend you.
Right.
Hey, OHSAA. That's why they pay the smart guys the big bucks, right? Be smart. Smart guys figure it out. That's not us.
That's not us.
Not us. All right. A chance to shine a light on our sponsors. As always, Greenwood Chevrolet and Toyota of Warren. Thank you so much for doing what you do for us and providing this opportunity for us to be idiots and talk about things that probably don't matter to 99% of the population, but matter to us. And they matter to, that 1%. That 1% of great people out there. It is a great time to be in the new or used market for a vehicle. Anthony, why is that?
Well, talking about new or used vehicles, there's a new vehicle on the lot at Greenwood Chevrolet, and it is the 2025 Chevy Equinox. This thing's looking slick.
Get it.
If you want an SUV and you want the best one there,
Get
go
it.
down to their lot, test drive it today.
Get
Chevy
it.
Equinox is above reproach. Get it. So
And-
get on down there. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day.
If you're not into bow ties, then you got to check out Toyota of Warren, because let me tell you something. Little known fact, Ant, maybe this will spin you onto Toyotas. The Toyota logo has Toyota written in it. There's a T, an O, a Y, O, T, A. I had to think about that for a minute. All in the logo. It's crazy. I've always asked, why does that logo look the way it looks?
That blew my mind.
See?
There it is.
That's-
Oh my gosh.
Hang on. Let me pull it up.
For a minute, I was like, where's the Y? But now I'm in my mind, I'm seeing it. Yeah.
There it is. Right there.
Look at
There
that.
you go. The Y is right there. Nobody knows Y is better than yours truly. Okay. I can find a Y in anything. So, yeah, the logo right there. And if you're looking for Toyota, and if you're looking, literally, you're looking at it right now. If you're looking for that logo and you want to represent that logo and you want to point to your car and you want to say, did you know? Then you need to go to Toyota Warren, because that's where you're going to find the best deal. Not only find Toyota on every car, you're going to find the best deal on your next new or used vehicle at Toyota of Warren. Tell Tino YSN sent you. Tell Jimmy over in finance YSN sent you. They're going to talk to you about sports. They're going to talk to you about what's going on, because they watch this show. They watch everything on YSN. Not only do they advertise with us, but they utilize what we do here at YSN, and that's why they believe in us. That's why you believe in us. We believe you should get over to Toyota Warren and get your new, used, or new vehicle. Enjoy. Toyota. Go places. How about that read? How about that read? That was a good one. I tied in a few things there. I didn't even know where I was going with that. I found out that Toyota thing like 3 days ago. Been holding on to it. Like a stuffy, as Bella would say. A little stuffy.
Woman on there. Let it free.
I'm bummed out, man. I don't like when games get canceled.
And the rains were coming just as we were talking here in Boardman, at least. So
Is it pouring?
it doesn't look good tonight.
The Bournemouth game flow is already canceled. So,
But the good news is you look at Storm Tracker 21 and like the next 7 days after today look pretty dang good. Knock on.
Can we play on Sundays? We're not
Let's
playing
do it.
this Sunday because it's Mother's Day.
Well, yeah.
Which, by the way, Anthony, we need to have a Mother's Day show.
Yeah. Ooh.
What do you say
Have
about
you
Friday?
talked to Sarah about coming on? Is she game? Can we get Mrs. YSN?
Listen, Mrs. YSN will never tell me yes to anything. Literally nothing. But we're going to get her on here. I'm going to get her on here and talk about her first Mother's Day. This one coming up, officially, her first Mother's Day, which I can't wait. She can tell you how big of an idiot I am. Like, I'm not afraid of it. Everyone knows it. But having Carla pop on, Carla Hartwig, and talk about being Mama Bear to Anthony Ronald Hartwig, what do you think? Think she'll go for it?
Well, I'll give it the old college try.
Don't get student loans on it.
Don't get a student.
We'll give you the scholarship for it, but you give it the old
Right.
college try. Mrs. YSN's out there listening right now. She's waiting for
this.
me. There's going to be a wallop when I get home.
Giving you the side eye.
Again, if I disappear, you don't have to look far. Just look in my backyard. Nothing better than watching the boys play on Mother's Day. See? That's what I'm saying. The only thing equal to that would be watching boys and girls play on Father's Day. Just push it back a week and a half. Push it back. Brittany's got the idea. I think they should play. I think they should. Moms always say, hey, I just like watching my kid do what they love.
All right. Let's test that.
Let's pack up the snacks. Head on. Like, I think you get. Here's another solution. Brittany's onto it. Play on Sundays. There's going to be a lot of people who go, wait a minute. Sunday's a day of rest. Yeah, well, we had 6 days of rest. You don't need another day of rest. Let's play some ball. Right?
As long as you
Let's
give
get our-
one day. I don't
get our
think you do it
juice.
the day you're doing.
Let's get our juice and our wafers, and let's go pack some seeds in there, and let's go play some ball. That's what I'm saying. Doesn't have to be.
Call the pastor. Be like, hey, Pastor John, I need you to end service a little bit early today because we got a double header, half an hour away.
Also, if you can pray for us to win, that'd be great. Get the whole kit and caboodle in there, praying for the Cardinals or for the Raiders or whoever it may be, the Bulldogs. Hey, can we get a Go Bulldogs in today's sermon today?
Can we get a?
Amen.
I'll give you some
Amen.
amens if you give us a Go Bulldogs.
A few Hail Marys for the Tigers. All right, it is time for the Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark, presented by Joe Dickey Electric. They are everything electrical, and they are on the web 24/7, 365 for you. Yes, you. To ask them anything you need and anything you want, whether it's commercial, residential, anything. They are everything electrical. Visit them today at DickeyElectric.com. I'm going to go first. My spark's just this banner at the bottom with tunes.
Breaking.
Big surge drinker. Capital B-I-G. Big surge drinker. And I didn't know what era we were talking about. So I just put at one point. You can never go wrong. At one point. Kids, you're writing papers in college, your finals. At one point. Use it.
Yep. And you'll
Can't
never
go
know
wrong.
how you're going to get yourself on the ticker on YSN Live.
We got to use the ticker more. Maybe the ticker needs sponsored. Then we'll have to use it more. Maybe we need a new backdrop. Maybe we could put the sponsor right there on the left side, bottom left side, right there in the corner. We can do it. I can change up the backdrop. I like the brick, though. I don't know. What's your spark?
My spark, I was talking last night to a couple of coaches that were in the tournament draw. In the tournament draw, you're on the video call and you get to pass or take a spot in the bracket. There's one coach, a non-YSN school, that had to try to get the game moved because their prom was on a Thursday and they couldn't play on their prom day, of course. I just question, one, prom on a Thursday seems kind of weird. Two, like, when you're scheduling events for your school, when these tournament dates are scheduled. What went into saying a Thursday on a tournament day when OHSA is having their birthday party was a good day to have a prom? I don't know. It made me look at that like a dog listens to a high pitched noise. I was sitting there like, huh? So It's this fun. My spark is, hey, one prom is probably not for Thursdays because that's kind of weird.
Mondays.
And two, let's have a little bit better planning ahead. Plan ahead. Great job.
As a father of a daughter that one day will take part in prom, Monday sounds like a great day for prom. Sounds like a real banger for prom. Everybody's home by 9:00. All the fathers are very happy.
Happy in
very
the bed.
excited. Everybody knows where their children are. Listen, I had a great prom. Loved it. I went to 2 of them. Enjoyed it. I also know what happens at prom. Mondays at 9 p.m. That's the best. And the after prom is like at McDonald's because they're still not closed yet. I'll buy all the Happy Meals. That's a show. We hope you had a good time. We hope we made you smile. We hope we made you laugh. Hope we made you think a little bit too, because today might have been a stinker, but it was also a thinker. We appreciate you so much. We appreciate the sponsors and advertisers here on YSN. We appreciate you tuning in each and every day. Tomorrow it will be a Sipe Wednesday, right, Ant?
Yeah, running Wednesday.
Running Wednesdays, okay. Run wild here on YSN, and we will make sure that you are informed, and we'll let you know if we've got any games tonight. They will be on ysnlive.com/live. You can click on them and enjoy them all that you want. Also, I implore you to download the Game Changer app because I spent some time on Game Changer last night, right before my son's game got canceled and games that we didn't have access to. It's awesome. And they're partners of us here at YSN. And even if they weren't, it's still a great thing. Worth the, $79, something like that for yearly access.
Yeah.
Great stuff. So in the case that you want to see more Diamond Sports, and you can literally go all over the country and all over the world, really, on Game Changer, you can check it out and see what kind of ball is out there. So, Ant, great show today. We appreciate you as always. We want to thank Jen Coons. We want to thank for
drinking the surge,
breaking out the surge protector. We are also going to thank Brenna Figley for stopping by. And I know you got an interview tonight, a very special one that we'll feature later this week on our shows.
Big dog.
And big dogs. Hey, congratulations to Samantha and Caden, big dogs of the Valley, for this week 3. Another round tomorrow, right here on YSN. That's going to do it for Anthony Ronald Hartwig. My name is DJ Yoakley. We'll see you tomorrow right here, same time, same network. It's YSN. Anthony, may the sports be with you.
And you, my friend.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of your sports network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.